people, today we'll be cooking and packing 100 packs of jollof rice in a takeaway. I hope that sounds amazing, right? Yes, and we will be doing that on budget. In case you're new in bulk cooking or you want to learn more skill, this video is a good tutorial for you. In this video, I will be revealing my recipes, my professional jollof rice mixing techniques, how to gauge the rightful amount of water for your jollof cooking, and the right way to regulate your heat while cooking your jollof with steam. So keep watching. Now let's begin by preparation of the ingredients by soaking our dry vegetable in water for 24 hours. These are dry kidney beans and green peas. They are relatively cheaper than the fresh one, so you have to soak them a day before in order for them to get revived if you are using the dry ones. Now we will classify and simplify this cooking into 5 different steps, which includes meat preparation, stew base making, professional jollof rice mixing and cooking, jollof garnishing, and finally packaging. Beginning with the first step, which is our meat preparation, we'll be crushing a tablespoonful of clove, a half poundful of ginger, about 9 cloves of garlic, you can choose to peel or not, about 8 green habanero pepper, and a red onion bulb. Please always ensure that all these natural spices and ingredients are always cleaned and washed before crushing. So here is the look. Good. Now it is time for the meat marination and tenderization. As for the meat quantity, we have in here 7 kg of meat, and each of the kilo was cut into 15 pieces. So I add in our already prepared natural spices to the meat, about 2 tablespoons of thyme, some drizzles of vegetable oil, and about 3 tablespoons of jima mixed spice, 2 tablespoons of processed ginger and garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of beef spices, yes, lasso to be precise. I'm using beef flavor in this video. You can as well use chicken flavor to achieve this. And then our grounded seasoning powder will come in here. Yes, for the grounded seasoning powder, I added about 3 tablespoons. So all these will be mixed together to combine appropriately. Now for the meat tenderization, I'll be using about half cup of a white vinegar. This will enable softening and penetration of all the ingredients added into our meat, making it so soft, tasty, with a rich brown color look. Okay, so after all this, we're gonna transfer this into a clean bowl, then drizzle some salt, cover and allow to marinate in the refrigerator till the next day. Now it is the next day, so I'll begin with the cooking of our meat until it is well done. You can see the meat is almost frozen from the fridge. Please ensure there is enough water for the cooking of the meat. Now over here is the dry vegetables that we soaked yesterday. You can see they are fully revived. I would quickly change the water and still soak prior the time of use. So while our meat is still cooking, let us quickly process the ingredient for our stew base. So over here is about 3 buckets of red bell pepper, which has been dehydrated by drying in the sun for 3 days. Then a panful of garlic and ginger was added to it and was blended into a paste. At this point, about 7 bulbs of onion is expected to come in, but it was too expensive as at the time of making this video, so I have to skip it, but please add it if you can, but if not, don't worry, your food will still be nice. Remember, we are cooking on budget and our goal is to meet up with the resources available and still maintain quality. So we are done with the grinding of the stew base. Let's check the meat. So this meat has been cooking for more than an hour now. At this point, our meat is well done, so I'm gonna scoop them up, leaving the stock for later use. Now it is time to fry our meat, and to do that, heat up your oil and begin to add your meat. For the oil, I'm using 3 liters of oil right now. So I'll add in the meat and fry at a medium-high heat with a constant stir. Now it took me about 3 to 4 minutes to have completed the meat frying process. And at this point, our meat is well fried, crispy, tender, brown, and irresistible. So go ahead and scoop them, and here is the final look of the meat. Man, this is giving. You can only taste this kind of quality meat from a rich party. Only quality, the taste, the color, they are all intact. So the next step is to garnish this meat with some stew, but since our stew is not ready, let's set it aside and make our stew. We begin by building up the flavor of our oil with natural aromatic spices like green habanero pepper and red onion. Then add some fresh ginger and garlic. Allow to fry out for a while before moving in with your pepper blend. I also added 1 kg of tin tomato paste off camera. Please take note. Now listen, since our red bell pepper has already been dehydrated in the sun for 3 days, so there was no longer any need to boil down before frying. This method can save you both cooking time and gas. Just buy your bell pepper days before your cooking days and take your time to dehydrate them in the sun, okay? Good. Right now is actually Harmattan season and these seasoning cubes are very strong, so I quickly pound them just to facilitate easy opening. Okay, yes, you can see how easy it is, just with a single touch and it is open already. Now we will go in with our seasoning powder because the water is already dried up. Our thyme, mixed spice, our beef seasoning powder, ginger and garlic powder, and curry powder as well. Then mix until everything is well combined in the stew. You can taste to adjust your seasoning and boom, your stew is ready. Now that our stew is ready, I will scoop some into our meat and then mix to combine. Of course, you know that doing this will increase the meat eating properties and eye appealing properties of the meat. Now we move to the third step, which is mixing and cooking of the jollof rice. So to that, we'll be adding our stew into a little water set already in the pot. Mix to combine and go in with your stock. Now you can taste to make unnecessary adjustments with your seasonings and spices. At this point, you might need to go in with some salt just to enhance the taste of every other ingredient you have added. Now, once you're satisfied with the taste you've gotten, you can cover and allow to boil. And while it is cooking, let us quickly wash our rice. We will be using about 20 kg short grain of rice. Add some water and begin to wash. You can wash and sieve out the water up to 3 to 4 times depending on the nature of the rice you're buying. Just wash until the water is cleared. After which, transfer your clean rice into an already boiling jollof base. Okay, allow the water of your jollof base to slightly swallow the rice and then cover the pot and start cooking. Now, professionals cook their rice with steam more instead of water, and to do that, seal up your pot with a steam-proof material. In this case, we're using a foil paper in order to prevent steam from escaping. Then close the lid of your pot and allow the rice to cook. Now listen, your heat should be high a bit at the very first 10 minutes of your cooking. This will help you generate the heat you needed to steam the rice. Then bring down the heat to a very low level and cook for a very long time to avoid excessive burning for the rest of your cooking time. Now this is exactly 45 minutes since we started cooking. The rice is cooking but it's still very strong. So all you're gonna do is to stir around the rice and then recover the pot again and allow to cook under a very low heat. This method can take you not less than 2 hours to be completed. So patience is required, but the end result, I tell you, is mind-blowing. Now you can be covering and checking the rice at an interval until the rice is completely done. And at this point, the rice is done. Now it took me more than 2 hours to achieve this, but it is cool, the rice is ready. So move to the first stage, which is the garnishing. Garnishing is actually optional, but I love doing this because it transforms my jollof rice into another level. So I go ahead with my fresh tomato slices and onion slices. This will help increase the moisture content of the rice and make it so flavorful and so nice. Next is to heat up an oil in another pot and fry your onion until translucent. Then go in with your carrots. Yes, the carrot has been sliced. Green beans. Stir for a while and then go in with your fresh kidney beans and green peas. Yes, they are now fresh after soaking. Okay, so stir and fry for a while and then begin to add your seasonings. And for the seasoning, firstly I go in with my curry powder. The mixed spice, just use the rest of the available spices you have, the ginger and garlic powder, and of course our seasoning powder. This is chicken seasoning powder. Mix everything to combine before moving in with your salt. Please make sure you are not adding too much spices to your vegetable stir fry for garnishing of the rice. Remember, the rice is already tasty on its own. So now that we are successfully done with our stir fries, I'll transfer everything into my rice, then mix everything to combine, and boom. You won't believe how nice and tasty this rice came out to be. Even the people that ate it was like, who made this rice? At the end of the day, it was not tasting as if it was cooked on budget at all. Skill is a key, okay? So we will just do one more thing that is very important before bringing down the rice for packaging, and that is smoking. We have to give it that party smoky flavor. So increase your heat a bit, yes, and cover the pot. Smoke for less than a minute on high heat and quickly turn off the stove. Then stir to infuse the smoke round about the rice. Just as you can see, and boom, we are done. Now transfer into your big bowl for packaging of the rice, which is the very last step of this cooking. For the packaging, I scoop the rice into my takeaway, add my meat, cover, and boom, we are done. This step does not take time. I'm just using about 2 scoops each, and then add my meat again and cover. Yes, so here is the full packaging. The spoon to speak has been wrapped in my serviette paper, arranged in a cooler as we move into the car for delivery. I hope you learned something new. Thank you for watching.